The Mahabharata is one of the two major Sanskrit epics of ancient India, alongside the Ramayana. It is a monumental work of literature, philosophy, and spirituality that has profoundly influenced Indian culture and thought for millennia. Composed between 400 BCE and 400 CE, the Mahabharata is attributed to the sage Vyasa, though it was likely compiled and expanded by multiple authors over centuries. Scale and sheer scale of the Mahabharata is staggering. It consists of approximately 100,000 verses, making it roughly 10 times the length of the Iliad and Odyssey combined. The epic is divided into 18 books, or parvas, with an additional book called the Harivamsa, often considered an appendix. Its vast narrative encompasses history, mythology, philosophy, ethics, and spirituality, weaving together a complex tapestry of human experience and cosmic significance. Central narratively at its core, the Mahabharata tells the story of a great dynastic struggle between two branches of the Kuru clan, the Pandavas and the Kauravas. The 5 Pandava brothers, led by the virtuous Yudhishthira, are pitted against their 100 cousins, the Kauravas, led by the eldest brother Duryodhana. This conflict culminates in the devastating 18-day Kurukshetra War, which serves as the backdrop for many of the epic's most profound teachings and revelations. Key characters. The Mahabharata features a vast array of characters, each with their own complexities and significance. Some of the most prominent include the 5 Pandava brothers, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadeva Draupadi, the common wife of the Pandavas Krishna, the divine incarnation who serves as guide and advisor to the Pandavas Dhritarashtra, the blind king and father of the Kauravas Duryodhana, the main antagonist and leader of the Kauravas Bhishma, the grand patriarch of the Kuru clan Drona, the martial arts teacher to both the Pandavas and Kauravas Karna, the tragic hero and close friend of Duryodhana Philos, and spiritual dimensions. While the Mahabharata is often viewed as a historical or mythological narrative, its true significance lies in its profound philosophical and spiritual teachings. The epic explores fundamental questions of dharma, duty, ethics, and cosmic order, karma, action and its consequences, and moksha, liberation from the cycle of rebirth. It contains within it several important texts that stand as pillars of Hindu philosophy, including the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's discourse to Arjuna on the eve of the Great War, considered one of the most important spiritual texts in world literature. Danyajita, another dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, elaborating on the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. Vidura Nitai, ethical and political advice given by the wise Vidura to King Dhritarashtra. Sanatsudatiya, a philosophical discourse on the nature of the soul and ultimate reality. Historical and cultural significance. Mahabharata has played a crucial role in shaping Indian culture, religion, and philosophy. It has been a source of moral and ethical guidance, a repository of cultural memory, and a wellspring of artistic and literary inspiration for countless generations. Its influence extends far beyond India, with versions and adaptations found throughout Southeast Asia and beyond. The epic's enduring popularity and relevance stem from its ability to address timeless human concerns while also adapting to changing social and cultural contexts. It has been interpreted and reinterpreted countless times, with each generation finding new meanings and insights within its vast narrative. The Mahabharata is replete with enigmas, hidden meanings, and esoteric wisdom. These mysteries have intrigued scholars, spiritual seekers, and casual readers alike for centuries. In this section, we'll explore some of the most significant and thought-provoking mysteries and secrets embedded within the epic. The true identity of Vyasa. One of the first mysteries we encounter in the Mahabharata is the identity of its purported author, Vyasa. Traditionally attributed to the sage Krishna Dvapayana Vyasa, the epic's composition raises several questions. Given the vast scope and extended period of composition, it's unlikely that a single author wrote the entire epic. How much of the text can be attributed to the original Vyasa, and how much is the work of later authors and compilers, Vyasa as a character? Intriguingly, Vyasa appears as a character within the epic he supposedly authored. This creates a meta-narrative layer that blurs the lines between author and creation. What does this say about the nature of storytelling and the transmission of knowledge in ancient India? Divine or human origin? Some traditions regard Vyasa as an incarnation of the god Vishnu. This raises questions about the epic's origins. Is it a divinely inspired text, a human creation, or a combination of both? Symbolic significance. The name Vyasa means compiler or arranger. Could this be a title rather than a personal name, representing a lineage of sages who compiled and organized ancient knowledge? The puzzle of Draupadi's polyandry. One of the most controversial and puzzling aspects of the Mahabharata is Draupadi's marriage to all 5 Pandava brothers. This arrangement, known as polyandry, was unusual even in ancient India and has been the subject of much speculation and interpretation. Historical anomaly. Does this reflect an actual historical practice, or is it a symbolic representation of something else? Karmic explanation. The epic provides a past life explanation for this arrangement, but is this meant to be taken literally or as a metaphor? Political strategy. Some interpret the polyandrous marriage as a way to maintain unity among the Pandava brothers. What does this say about the relationship between personal relationships and political power? Spiritual symbolism. Esoteric interpretations see Draupadi as representing the human soul and the 5 Pandavas as the 5 senses or elements. What deeper truths about human nature might this symbolism reveal? The mystery of Karna's birth and identity. Character of Karna is surrounded by secrecy and tragedy. Born to Kunti before her marriage and abandoned as an infant, Karna's true identity remains hidden for most of the epic, leading to several intriguing questions. Nature vs. nurture. Karna is born a Kshatriya warrior class but raised by a charioteer. How does this tension between birth and upbringing shape his character and fate? The power of secrets. How might the course of events have changed if Karna's true identity had been revealed earlier? What does this say about the role of knowledge and secrecy in shaping destiny? Loyalty and dharma. Karna's unwavering loyalty to Duryodhana, even after learning of his true parentage, raises complex questions about the nature of duty and friendship. Tragic heroism. Many readers find Karna to be one of the most sympathetic characters in the epic. What does his tragic fate reveal about the nature of heroism and the complexities of morality in the Mahabharata? The enigma of Krishna's divinity. Krishna's role in the Mahabharata is multifaceted and often paradoxical. While he is revealed to be an avatar incarnation of the god Vishnu, he frequently acts in ways that seem all too human. Divine intervention. To what extent does Krishna shape the events of the epic, and how much is he bound by human limitations? Ethical ambiguity. Krishna often advocates for actions that seem morally questionable, such as Arjuna's killing of Karna when he is defenseless. How do we reconcile this with his divine status? The nature of avatar. What does Krishna's portrayal in the epic reveal about the Hindu concept of divine incarnation? Esoteric symbolism. Some interpret Krishna as representing the higher self or divine consciousness within each individual. How does this change our understanding of his actions and teachings? The weapons of mass destruction. Mahabharata describes various supernatural weapons, or astras, that bear an uncanny resemblance to modern weapons of mass destruction. This has led to much speculation and controversy. Ancient advanced technology. Do these descriptions point to the existence of advanced technology in ancient India, or are they purely mythical? Symbolic interpretation. Could these weapons represent natural forces or psychological states rather than literal armaments? Ethical implications. The epic's treatment of these powerful weapons raises important ethical questions about the use of overwhelming force in warfare. Prophetic visions. Some see these descriptions as prophetic visions of future weaponry. What might this imply about the nature of time and knowledge in the Mahabharata's worldview? The mystery of time and yugas. The Mahabharata presents a cyclical view of time, divided into 4 yugas or ages. This concept raises several intriguing questions: historical time vs mythical time. How do we reconcile the epic's vast timescales with known human history? Declining Dharma. The epic describes a gradual decline in virtue and cosmic order over the 4 yugas. What does this reveal about the Mahabharata's view of history and human nature? Current age. According to traditional calculations, we are now in the Kali Yuga, the final and most degraded age. How has this belief influenced Indian culture and philosophy? Cyclical vs linear time. How does the Mahabharata's cyclical view of time contrast with more linear conceptions, and what implications does this have for understanding progress and decline in human civilization? These mysteries and secrets form just the beginning of the Mahabharata's enigmatic depths. In the next section, we'll explore more of these puzzles and delve into their potential interpretations and significance. Shall I continue with that? Copyretrogies continue Edda. Thank you for your continued interest. I'll now proceed with the next section, which explores more mysteries and secrets of the Mahabharata, along with their potential interpretations and significance. Further mysteries and their interpretations. Puzzle of the dice game. One of the most pivotal events in the Mahabharata is the infamous dice game between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. This event raises several intriguing questions. Free will vs destiny. Was the outcome of the game predetermined, or could it have been avoided? This touches on broader questions of free will and determinism in the epic. The nature of addiction. Yudhishthira's inability to stop gambling, despite the high stakes, offers insights into the psychology of addiction and its consequences. Draupadi's humiliation. The attempted disrobing of Draupadi after she is lost in the game is a shocking and controversial scene. What does it reveal about the status of women and the nature of honor in the epic's world? Divine intervention. Krishna's miraculous protection of Draupadi's modesty raises questions about the role of divine intervention in human affairs. Interpretation. The dice game can be seen as a metaphor for life's unpredictability and the dangers of unchecked desire. It also highlights the complex interplay between personal choice and larger cosmic forces in shaping human destiny. The mystery of Bhishma's oath. Bhishma's vow of lifelong celibacy and his ability to choose the time of his own death are central to his character. The power of words. Bhishma's unbreakable vow demonstrates the epic's emphasis on the power of speech and promises. Duty vs personal desire. Bhishma's sacrifice raises questions about the balance between personal happiness and social responsibility. Symbolic death. Bhishma's long wait on a bed of arrows before choosing to die can be seen as a metaphor for the soul's journey towards liberation. Gender and power. Some interpret Bhishma's vow as a rejection of feminine power, linking it to larger themes of gender dynamics in the epic. Interpretation. Bhishma's character embodies the complex and often contradictory nature of Dharma duty. His story invites reflection on the costs of unwavering adherence to principle and the relationship between individual choice and cosmic law. The enigma of Ekalavya. The story of Ekalavya, a tribal prince who becomes a master archer through self-teaching and devotion, raises important questions about education, caste, and merit. The nature of Guru-Shishya relationship. Drona's demand that Ekalavya cut off his thumb challenges traditional notions of the teacher-student bond. Caste and merit. Ekalavya's superior skill, despite his lower social status, critiques caste-based restrictions on education and opportunity. The price of knowledge. The sacrifice of Ekalavya's thumb can be seen as a metaphor for the cost of acquiring wisdom. Alternate histories. Some interpret Ekalavya's story as a remnant of older, non-Brahmanical traditions incorporated into the epic. Interpretation. Ekalavya's tale can be read as a critique of social hierarchies and a celebration of individual talent and determination. It also raises ethical questions about the control and dissemination of knowledge in society. The mystery of Karna's Kavak and Kundakarna's inborn armor Kavak and earrings Kundal, which make him invincible, are central to his tragic fate. The symbolism of divine gifts. What do these supernatural protections represent in terms of Karna's character and destiny? The ethics of deception. Indra's trickery in obtaining these items from Karna raises questions about the moral conduct of the gods. Vulnerability and heroism. The loss of his armor makes Karna vulnerable but also more heroic in facing battle without divine protection. Karmic interpretations. Some see the loss of these items as a working out of Karna's karma from past lives. Interpretation. The story of Karna's Kavak and Kundal and be seen as a meditation on the nature of true strength and the role of divine favor in human affairs. It also highlights the epic's complex treatment of fate, free will, and personal responsibility. The puzzle of the Yakshas questions near the end of their exile. Yudhishthira must answer a series of riddles posed by a Yaksha nature spirit to revive his brothers. The nature of wisdom. The episode emphasizes that true wisdom lies not just in knowledge but in ethical understanding and self-awareness. The importance of right questioning. The Yakshas' questions demonstrate the epic's emphasis on asking the right questions as a path to knowledge. Yudhishthira's character. His successful answering of the riddles confirms Yudhishthira's wisdom and fitness to rule. Symbolic death and rebirth. The revival of the brothers can be seen as a metaphor for spiritual transformation through knowledge. Interpretation. This episode encapsulates many of the Mahabharata's key philosophical teachings, presenting them in a concise, memorable form. It emphasizes the importance of ethical wisdom over mere cleverness or strength. The secret of the Pandavas' divine parentage. The Pandavas are said to be born from different gods, raising intriguing questions. Divine vs. human nature. How does the Pandavas' divine parentage influence their characters and actions? Kunti's mantra. The magical mantra that allows Kunti to summon gods raises questions about the relationship between human ritual and divine power. Legitimacy and succession. How does the Pandavas' semi-divine status affect questions of royal succession and legitimacy? Symbolic interpretations. Some see the different divine fathers as representing various aspects of human nature or cosmic principles. Interpretation. The divine parentage of the Pandavas can be seen as a way of emphasizing their extraordinary nature and destiny. It also speaks to larger themes in the epic about the interplay between the human and divine realms. The mystery of Krishna's cosmic form. Krishna's revelation of his cosmic form Vishvarupa to Arjuna is one of the most mystical and profound moments in the epic nature of reality. What does this vision reveal about the Mahabharata's conception of ultimate reality? Human perception. The episode raises questions about the limits of human perception and understanding. The terror of the divine. Arjuna's fear in the face of Krishna's true form speaks to the awe-inspiring and potentially frightening nature of spiritual truth. Bhakti devotion vs. jnana knowledge. The episode can be seen as advocating for a balance between devotional and intellectual approaches to spirituality. Interpretation. The Vishvarupa episode encapsulates many of the Mahabharata's most profound metaphysical teachings. It suggests that ultimate reality transcends human categories and can only be fully grasped through a combination of divine grace and human effort.